Good morning, guys. How we doing? Tuesday, March 25th. Slightly late today. Had some personal things to take care of. Let's see. Checking the news. We had composite at 9 o'clock. Fed speaker at 9:05. We had composite. Orange folder 9 o'clock. Fed speaker 9:05. Then we got consumer confidence at 10 a.m., which sometimes gives us some good volatility here. So we're going to wait till at least 10 before we look for anything. But let's go ahead and get our levels marked out. See if we can get a bias of what's going on out there today. So first thing we want to do, mark out London and Asia. So we need 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. Got London high. London low. Then we got 8 to midnight. Eight to midnight. I got Asia low. Asia high. Okay. Before we do all that, let's go in and make sure we got all of our risk settings set. They are still the same. 250 risk, 500 profit, 500 trailing daily loss limit, 1500 profit target, maximum number of trades 4, and it is set to 4 in case I scale out. So we are going to go ahead and lock the risk settings on all the accounts. All risk settings locked. Okay. Look at the 1 hour here. Definitely bullish. Tapping into a 1 hour fair value gap right now. Let's look at the 15-minute. We're in a 15-minute fair value gap here. That price respected. So let's mark that out. So we got a single 15-minute there. I got buy side up here. Oops. Okay. We still have this unfilled gap between Friday close and Sunday open that needs to get filled. Let's go and mark out our levels on ES and YM. Can't wait for Topstep to allow for external indicators from their own platform, or excuse me, Project X, to allow regular trading view indicators. That would be pretty damn sweet. London high and low. Eight to midnight. A lot of perfect equal highs here. Not relative, but I mean, almost perfect. Now we need to do YM. London high. London low. And we gotta do Asia. 8. To midnight. Asia low. Asia high. Alright. Now let's go back in here and we did have 9 o'clock news. So how does that candle look right at 9 o'clock? No movement really. It's this candle right here. That was a violent move there. You got to close below that 15-minute fair value gap there. It's a hell of a long wiki candle on both ends. So I still want to wait till 10 a.m. news before looking for a trade here. Just going to be patient. Looking at the structure here, I would like to see We did retrace to the 50% level here. But I'd like to see a little bit more of a retracement down to this breaker area here for an entry somewhere at 62 to 70.5 retracement level to go long. Not a whole lot of movement or volatility yet here on the lower time frames, yes. Kind of trashy delivery here, playing ping pong. I'm just going to leave a clean chart. Wait till 10 a.m. See what that orange folder gives us. Had a pretty decent sized red day yesterday. So definitely want to take my time here. Let the trade come to me. Structure here on the lower time frame is definitely bearish. We made a high and we made a higher low, lower high, lower low, low, a little bit of a higher high than that one, but then we had a big violent sell-off there. So we just swept that low there, right at the 50% retracement level, price bouncing and hovering around Asia highs and lows. check a few emails while we wait here. Got about 6 minutes roughly till 10 o'clock. Then we'll see. We'll start hunting for us an entry. All right. So what I see here is we swept this 5-minute low. That was swept. We're delivering out of a 1-hour fair value gap. Price respected that. So we tapped in here to a 1 hour. Swept that low, 5-minute low, bouncing out of a 1-hour fair value gap. And then on lower time frame here, we had a single 2-minute that got closed above a nice. So that inverted. So that could have been an entry there, targeting the session high. We also had a single 1-minute here that didn't really have that. This candle here didn't close, but the next one did. 3-minute didn't have one, 5-minute didn't have one. So the good entry for me, if I would have taken this trade, would have been on the 2-minute. So swept a 5-minute low, delivering out of a 1-hour fair value gap. 2-minute fair value gap gets closed above, inverts, and that would have been your entry targeting up here. First scale point would have been these around these equal highs right here, and then would have moved, stopped the break even, and target it up there. Let's see if our trade thesis would have worked out here if we would have entered this trade and not waited. So this would have been first target. That blue does not look good. Let's go with that. Alright, got about 10 seconds till 10 a.m. Let's see if this candle gives us anything. Orange folder sometimes is weird. Sometimes it'll give us a nice move, sometimes it won't. So here's 10 a.m. There's TP1. Stops would have gone to break even there. I would have been stopped right there. Real close anyway. If we would have entered right at the close, 97.25, and the low of that is 97.75, so that would be 2 ticks away if we would have entered that trade there. So that 1 hour fair value gap, this one up here, that held nice. Thank you. So we close below this 1 minute here. If we get a close below the second 1 minute, or excuse me, 2 minute, So this has inverted. If we get a close below here, we'll be looking for a short. But if it holds, then we're going to go long and we're going to target that data high. So ES took out the lows there. YM took out the lows, but NQ has not. So lows taken here, lows taken here, but NQ has not taken them. So if we get a pushback up and we don't close here, but we only got 8 seconds, so we need a pretty big pushback up pretty fast. Okay, so we're going to go short because we got to close below that 2 minute. We're going to move our stop right here. Target will be London low. But I have a feeling because we formed SMT down here between ES and YM both took out their lows there, but NQ did not, that I'm about to get stopped out here. Yep. Data highs still need to be taken. All right, we closed above these 2 1 minutes, so we're going to go long. Stop below the lows. We got some equal highs over here. I'm going to do 3 points away. First scale will be right here. So we got 1 minute inverse. This is also a little 1 minute inverse down here. Just stopped out for a small loss on that first trade. Lost about $99, but split over 5 accounts. It's about $500. So data highs, I think now is where the draw is, but we're kind of in a chop zone right here. Wick Central. But if we go back to the original analysis here, price came down. We swept this 5-minute low. So price came down, we swept the 5-minute low, grabbed that liquidity, bounced out of the 1-hour fair value gap, and price is now delivering out of the 1-hour fair value gap. And we also retraced to about 50% back into discount. So right underneath the 50% level. So long looks like the play here. Add that in with the SMT that we formed. We took out the lows here on ES, the lows on YM, but we did not take out the lows over here on NQ. Need something bright. Try orange. How about that? So we'll just see how it plays out here. If we come up and we take out this data high and we hit this buy side price target, I will move the stop on the runner to break even. So ES has taken out the 10 a.m. high, and YM has taken out the 10 a.m. high. NQ is lagging. Sorry, had to run upstairs and grab some napkins. Wife brought me some McDonald's, and this thing's so greasy that I don't want it getting all over my desk. Gonna mute the mic here so you guys don't have to listen to me eat. So, still targeting data highs up here, or equal highs now for the first scale point. Price delivery that we have going on here is just mad sloppy right now. We can see that ES is green, YM is still red, and we are green on NQ. So once YM flips to green, I think we'll see some movement here. Price trying to make a move up now to data high area, previous session high there at 447.25. Have a new high here on NQ as well as ES, but it's a low on YM. Ooh, excuse me, something we got to watch for there. You want them to move in sync with each other. Did price take 10 a.m. high on actual NQ? We are looking at MNQ. So the 10 a.m. candle. Yep, it took data highs there. Data highs was taken on regular NQ. That's something you got to watch out for. What we're going to do here to help with that is I'm going to add in a third chart here of NQ so we can watch, since we trade MNQ, because they move pretty close to each other, but sometimes, you know, one will take a high and the other one doesn't. You know, the buy side up there on MNQ is 447.25, and the buy side on NQ is 447.50. So, you know, they're relatively close, where the data high is 440.25 on NQ and 445 on MNQ. Just have to see how this trade plays out here. So we did take data high on all the mini versions, but none of them have taken this session high. New high here. Well, not a new high, but new high for the last few minutes on YM and ES. NQ is still lagging behind here. It has not made a new high. Price is just struggling on NQ here. YM looks like we went green now. Yep, YM's green, NQ's green, ES is green. Hopefully we see some movement here. Everything gets in sync. Just not much volume going on here, not much movement, very choppy, whiplash, back and forth. Hopefully we see a pickup here shortly since all three indexes just flipped green. YM was lagging, not lagging anymore. Hello. Getting an error here from YouTube Studio. The audio stream current bitrate 0 is recommended. Is lower than the recommended. Can you guys hear me? We had a stop grabber 5,000 candle, a little bit of a retracement there, moved down. Now we're getting a nice push up. There we go. Data high and buy side taken out on NQ. We're going to move stop above break even on that runner. Look at the 5-minute structure here. Not seeing any good order blocks. Don't like the 3-minute one. We're going to move it under this level here. And flag in there and a breakout. So we're just going to ride this thing. So we're looking for 491 on our end. $491. Now I would like to see YM and ES come in and take out these highs. Excuse me. Since we do have a SMT forming here where NQ took out session high there, but ES and YM did not. If we get a close below this 2-minute fair value gap, I'm going to be looking to flatten and go short. Big move down there. We're going to flatten. We're going to go short. We're going to deviate here, draw out some projections. high, 56.25, 56.75, 2 ticks above, that's fine. Looking like switching my bias like that. Gonna get me stopped out. It was a nice close below that 2-minute though with SMT. So there was some good reasoning behind the switch there. We took out the highs on NQ, did not take out the highs on YMRES, had a good close below a 2-minute fair value gap. It's the same thing that happened yesterday though. Right around the same time, getting chopped up. Yep. Yep. We're gonna get stopped here. If we don't get stopped, it'll just be straight luck at this point with how close price is to the stop loss up there. But we're about to have a big boner candle right through. Gonna get stopped out. I believe this is gonna eat up my trade limit for the day. So it'll be a small loss day and I'll be back to about $50,000 balance, like the accounts were brand new after 7 days. Yep, lockout, trade limit reached. Should have just kept my stop loss where it was in the long position. Stop loss was originally down here below this low. Could have just held that and continued long for those equal highs up there. But oh well. Down $92 on the day. Made 610 last week, down 562 this week. So down $92 times 5 accounts. So a loss of about 500 bucks. I'm not having a good week here. But the accounts are still standing. We're taking our time. We're following our process. We just got to stick with our trade confluence better and not just get so flip-flopped. So, should have stayed long. Didn't stay long. Went short. Flattened myself out. Won't be doing that anymore. So, appreciate y'all tuning in. Have a good day.